Okay, this is going to be my second go at trying to pour aluminium into an ant hole to make an ant hill sculpture. So I've got a couple of decent sized ant holes, probably half finger width I guess, but certainly a lot bigger than the last ones. Here's my aluminium. So some of them are ingots that I've made out of a muffin tin that I've got just in case it doesn't take as much aluminium as I melt. And these things that I found on the road. Looks like waste of some kind, fell off the back of a truck, but it was when it went round the corner. But they're all made of aluminium and perfect for starting a pool in the bottom of your, what's it called? Crucible. So here's the setup. It's a gas tank cut with the lid off. It's got a sand and plaster of Paris mix to make the insulation around the outside. Crucible made of 10 centimetre square tubing with the bottom welded on. A couple of bolts on the side to help pick it out. And down the bottom of it there's a loop so that we can grab it with a hook and help pour. Today I'm using charcoal. As you can see, it's stuck to the brim. We'll probably get through a whole bag full trying to melt this lot, but I've got a bit spare, so if we need more we've got it. The air supply is coming from that hole there with the metal coming out of it. Metal bits off the back of a old heater that we had. It was part of the flue, but it won't melt, so it makes a good entry point. And the hose, old vacuum hose, leads up to a airbed inflator that I bought from Mount Gambier Buy Swap Sell, thanks Sally Ann, and cheap, and which was good, and hopefully it's enough to make that glow red hot and pour some molten metal. So the fan's on, you can probably hear. If you get in close you can hear the air swirling around in there, and every now and then you get a glimpse of a bit of red glow, and which means it's on the go. So when that gets a bit hotter, I'll just throw the lid on and get it really hot, to red hot, and then I'll start dropping aluminium ingots into that. And see how we go. So I've made a couple of little surrounds for the ant holes out of old Coke cans and Pepsi cans. Let's not be Cokeist. So here's the Pepsi one, so we'll see who does better out of Coke and Pepsi. Hopefully it works, don't know, might guide it a little bit. So what to do with the rest of the bits? Chuck them in the furnace. Over here. Through my little hatch, in they go, and we'll wait for them to melt. Okay, bit of an update, probably about half an hour in after turning the fan on. You can see it's really hot. I'm having trouble keeping the camera over the top because it's too hot for my hand. But the coals are pretty much almost white hot all the way around now. I've put in some of the discs and they were starting to melt at the bottom, so I've just thrown a few more in. I might just throw in an ingot to see what happens there. Lucky shot. And we'll just wait. And we'll throw a few more in. So it looks like the coals are getting a little bit lower on that side just a couple of minutes later, so I'm just going to take the lid off and add some more coals so you can have a look inside. Alright, so that's what she looks like. Raging. Sally Ann's fan is doing an awesome job. And we'll just throw some extra coals in there and there. I want to keep the heat up right up around the side of the crucible so that it'll melt more. Alright, that'll do. Throw the lid back on. Need some help. Okay, we'll keep on. Okay, we're at the point now where we've got a pool of molten aluminium in the bottom of that. It's hard to see because the flames are in the way. But I've been dropping these in and they just sort of sink now, so hopefully I'll get them in. I've got one in, one just disappeared. Try on the other one. Done. Very full crucible right now. I might let that settle down for a minute and then we'll go for the pour. Alright, for number 1. Just going in the hole. Really going in the hole. Now it's coming out the side of the tin. Interesting, the steam coming out of a whole bunch of other holes around nearby. It's going to take the whole lot. No way. One ant hole took all of that. So a fair bit of hard digging later, we have a successful ant nest of sorts. It was a bit hard to get out because the thin bits kept breaking. They were wrapped around branches and twigs and things underground, I guess roots. And so the ants either followed those down or the trees' roots went down the ant holes, but it ended up following sort of a root system, which is a bit tricky to get out in one piece. So there are breakages, but I might be able to weld them back together again. That looks pretty cool. Little chambers and bits and pieces that the ants need for whatever they do. Not anymore. And here's the hole they came out of. So it went down a long way. And it went off to the side, and I think there's still a bit down there that I can't be bothered with basically. It's too deep. And it's getting dark. So I'm going to leave that one down there. So that's the first one that's worked. So yeah,